And
That's good.
I found that most of the questions where they scored low, less than the 50 were those questions where A, it was kind of worded.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of reading. It was like they just, even though the answer was clearly written in A, because I kind of did that because I know, okay, this is worded. Let me just, like this question, for example. This one. The key word there is joined together. Inelastic collision. They didn't even, I don't even think they went through it because it was like 31% got it wrong, even though the answer was, the key word was right there. Some other ones, like this, number 35.
Whoa.
Okay. So they was like, forget this.
Which of the is?
Even though they knew what inelastic collision was.
Mm-hmm.
They knew it. I mean,
They know exactly.
they know exactly. They knew, this is no question, but they still got it like 33%.
33% got it correct?
Correct on the test.
Okay.
Because they didn't read the question, I would
Mhm.
say. There are some other ones scattered around. So that was one, that was something, that showed. Another thing I found is when they had to algebraically manipulate formulas, like turned around, KE equal half mv squared. What is m? Give me the formula, Mr. Yanni. How do you write that? How do you? We can't keep doing this. You get 1. KE equal half mv squared. Rearrange it. Plug it in. But they too.
To use that triangle to show them how to rearrange it. Use that.
Yeah, you said?
Yeah.
Well, not for that equation,
Okay, good.
but for other equations, yeah. We use the triangle. But I don't know. I know my students, particularly the AEC students in physics, that the math is like
Terrible.
they can't.
Mm.
And so we practice that a lot. But then if I show them, all right, manipulate that, then they start using the manipulated formula for before even reading like what. In this
what it's
problem,
asking
you're solving for mass, so this is why we're manipulating it this way. But then the next question, it's asking for something else, but they'll still manipulate
that
it
mass.
the way that I just taught them, kind of thing. So that's something where we're
Yeah, that's one of our challenges in physics right now. Math, really. Because once you understand the question and you understand, okay, this is the formula I need to use. After that, it's math. Just rearrange it, put it in a calculator. Some students are having problems with a calculator, believe it or not. They're not sure which ones to go in
These
first.
are my 11th and my 12th graders.
11.
11th
11th
graders.
graders.
Okay, that's my GGT students.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've had a conversation with Mr. Fears.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a wide range, especially in that class, though. We have some high-level students who can do it
Okay.
easily.
Okay.
But then we have below.
Okay, we're parting them up. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We do.
Okay.
have that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that'll be a second thing that I found out. Not that we didn't know, it was just, the test kind of showed that more. And for this question, it was actually a warm-up, and I didn't even change the question at all, but you had to calculate A, B, C, and D and compare their answers to find which is the highest
Right.
one, period. MV, they're just two numbers there. Just multiply.
All I do is multiply them.
So that was just being
Lazy.
lazy.
So the other one kind of hit me was, questions where they had to compare and kind of think deeper or look for keywords also. With those questions, they scored low on those. There were like 14 questions in total where they scored less than 50. But these are questions that were really easy. There was no reason. If they had put a little bit more thought into it, they could have gotten it right. So I did that after you talked about that was another worded question, which is really easy. I don't know, but anyway, that was just looking at my test and comparing the results
Good.
with what had happened, and then over here, that is the
Item analysis.
for each one. That's pretty much what I've gone over, and looking at where they scored low and why
Mhm.
they scored low. Now let me go. I'm sorry, guys. Let me go to. Can't see what I'm doing.
Thank you.
While you're pausing, I was gonna say, I think that's why it's important for some kids to come to the tutorial, because the question is, how are they taking the test? Why are they selecting certain answer choices? But you know, you can't know that unless they come and sit and tell you, you know? Because in the genetics class, I try to get them to, okay, what are you thinking?
Mhm.
And they're not really able to verbalize, even though they know what the answer, they know the correct answer, but the answer choices throw them off.
Yeah.
Another good approach too with that is doing error analysis. Have y'all done those after the test? The ones that they got wrong, they have to look at it and put in the box why did they choose the answer that they did. Then they revise that particular
Yeah.
item.
I feel like for some
You've
of
done
us,
that error analysis?
I've done that. Well, for the kids who do it, it's very helpful for them. Getting it back is pulling teeth, but if you do like, and that's the whole, like the kids who did it, it's like, oh, they had a 75 and they redid it and now they like have 100, right? So if you can do it as a way, it's like in class, like we are doing
Right,
this together.
in
you have to
class.
turn it
Mhm,
in. It's like, but it does work. If they have to explain it to you, and it's the same thing over and over again, they'll get it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying, but, and also if you color code it too, so it's really helpful if they're like key terms, like go through your test and like hand them like some markers or like a crayon of a certain color and like actually go through the questions and like, this question deals with this concept, underlined in green, this is a green concept. Like we were doing like articles, so they had to know if it was masculine, feminine, singular, or plural, in order to pick the right the. I'm like, okay, this word, if it's masculine, underline it in green. If it's feminine, underline it in red. If it's plural, underline it in blue. And that way they can see, it has an S on the end, circle the S, that tells us that it's plural and it's underlined in blue. So even if you have to give them something visual, it does work. It's time consuming, but it works.
Mm-hmm.
So I can attest.
Good.
So here is the comparison, the pre and the post comparison.
Until they forget it.
The average on the pre-test was like 22.5